Hey guys, welcome to Move and Improve, where we get behind the scenes of Let's Get Moving. I've got my two favorite franchisees here, super young guys. Love these guys. I've got Deniil and Deni here. Please introduce yourself, guys.
Well, I'm Daniil. This is my brother Deni, and we started at a very young age, and I think it was one of the best choices that we have ever made in our life.
I love that. That's very nice. Thank you. I want to talk a little bit about how we know each other and our history together and your history with Let's Get Moving. Tell me a little bit about that, please.
Well, so that would probably be an extremely long story because I had such a great time with Let's Get Moving. I've grown and have developed myself in such a way that I think that a lot of viewers that you may have really are not underestimating, but a lot of people are underestimating themselves.
I think a lot of people don't think anything is real in life and nothing works, right? And that's people just stick to what they know, and it's hard to kind of receive new information sometimes, I feel like, right?
Yeah.
But especially when you hear from, firsthand feedback, I think that's very different, right?
Yeah. No, that's one of the things that I think we both realized, me and my brother, is that a lot of people don't take that initial step. Exactly. That is
you got it.
What's needed in their life, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the time while these guys are younger, they want to self-develop, but unfortunately a lot of people overthink a lot of things.
Oh yeah. You hit it right on the nail, my friend.
Yeah, and that's what I'm hoping that the viewers get out of this, is to take that initial step, because even when we started, we didn't know what we were doing.
That's right.
No one ever knows what they're doing,
That's
but
right.
they have to make that step. It can be very scary,
Yes.
but it's definitely worth it in the long run.
Absolutely.
Especially just learning the lessons that you would learn that you wouldn't get from any other place.
Exactly.
Right?
The real experiences of a business is something that you cannot learn anywhere else.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Really hard to get through it at first, but I think like Daniel said, it's just getting through it. Once you hit it and you see what the problem is, it's more of the thought process that gets you scared
Exactly.
than actually doing it.
You're absolutely right. People fear, they've got these thoughts like, if I start a business or if I do this, what's going to happen? Maybe I'm not capable. Maybe I'm not able to do this, right? These are the fears that they kind of place ahead of time. But the reality is, when you take that first step and you start to believe in yourself, then you start to really gain confidence and see the things you are capable of, right?
Yeah.
So it's that fear that always kind of stops people from wanting to move forward.
Exactly.
But when you start believing in yourself, you see that you're able to move mountains and really do anything with the knowledge and experience you've gained here. And I think it's really important that to have this non-fear mentality, right? And being able to just believe in yourself that whatever problems comes my way, whatever obstacles I'm going to face, I will be able to clear it. I will be able to take care of it, right? With that kind of mindset, you can really go through anything.
Yeah, you really can't avoid fear in a way. I mean, there's always going to be fear in whatever you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You could be meeting a girlfriend's parents for the first time. There's always fear in something, right?
Absolutely.
But it's the way that you carry yourself and the way that you really think about how things are going and what are the next possible steps that you got to take,
Yes.
right? So in our situation, when we got started, we were both extremely worried about how is this going to affect us, because this was our first step.
Yes.
And that is the scariest one. Once you get the first step done and over with, now you have a safety net, right? These
Right.
safety nets are there in place so you can make more bigger decisions,
Exactly.
right?
See, when one of your businesses, you've got a good location in Surrey, British Columbia. When you've got a good business like that, it allows you to be able to kind of understand, all right, I was able to build this system. Now I can copy paste this in other places,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that kind of mentality allows you to always think about growth and have that growth mindset. But when you've got a business like that, now it enables you to like kind of take some risky steps, and be able to have kind of a safety net like the business you do, right?
Yeah.
Let's go back to how we know each other, how we got to start this whole thing together.
Yeah.
Tell me when you started with Let's Get Moving, and then you came back, and then me and you got involved together.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a fun journey. I remember when I first got started, I was actually trying to become a realtor.
Oh yeah, nice.
So I got my realtor's license, got everything figured out, but I did not know sales, right? That was the first introduction to sales that I had, and that was where I really began to develop myself and making sure that I can get my point across properly and make sure that what I'm saying makes sense to the sales prospect.
That's right.
So that's where my learning really began. I didn't know how I was going to afford Google ads, this and that. There's so many steps in it that no one really expects and no one really takes into account. They just think, okay, I'm going to get my realtor's license or whatever it may be, and I'm just going to find my way through. And that's not always the case. There's a lot of things that a lot of people need to consider. So that's kind of where my learning became very, very important. Started practicing my sales, started looking at online videos of different gurus and things like that, trying to practice what I'm saying to get that booking.
Yes.
I really took it very seriously. And I think that's where my life really took a turn.
Good.
So a lot of people are looking at different schools and different things like that. And it might be the right choice for a lot of people.
Yes.
But it's not the right choice for everyone. That's what I found out for myself. I can't work for someone knowing that I'll only have 2 weeks of vacation every single year. I feel very limited to what I'm doing.
Yes.
And taking this step into what I felt was the right direction was the biggest life changer for me.
That's lovely to hear.
Yeah.
So you used to work as a sales agent here before,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You're selling moving services.
I hope I did well.
I think you did. I haven't checked anything, but you know, you left because you had other plans and things like that. It was never like it didn't work between us or you were not doing a good job here, right? We always had a great relationship, and then you went and did your thing, came back.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the time when I was starting franchise sales, right? You like came at the perfect time.
Yeah.
And
I got very lucky. I honestly, I was working at a sales company. It was like they were selling chairs, like office chairs.
Yeah.
And I remember that I was doing far more than what I was expected to do as my role.
Yes.
And I expected to get a raise out of it.
Yes.
I asked for a $2 raise, which is not significant.
Yes.
But I was declined. And I'm like, you know, I can do far better. So I came back here, got a chance to speak with you, and we had a great meeting, I think.
Clearly.
Yeah, and then I think you saw the potential in me
Yes.
in franchise sales and selling something a little bit more high end.
Yes.
And very quickly, once I saw the numbers and everything that I saw with trying to sell a franchise, I sold it to myself.
Yeah, I don't know. I brought you here to sell franchises, not to buy.
No, it was definitely a great experience, and I'm absolutely thankful and blessed that I've got the opportunity to meet a person like you, because
Thank
you're
you.
an absolute inspiration to me.
That means the world. Thank you. Honestly, look, everything you've done it on your own, and you deserve everything you've done because you built it with your own hands. Seriously, like when you came back, you deserved that position because of everything you had done here previously. And within the first 4 or 5 days, you bought the franchise and left.
Yeah, I was like, yo, this is such a great opportunity. That's the one thing I think that a lot of guys are worried about. They find the opportunity, but they never take the opportunity.
Yes.
So that's the problem there.
Opportunities pass by.
They all pass by.
Opportunities are
You don't
never
know when the next one are coming.
standing somewhere, right? The opportunities are never idle, right? They're always just passing by you, and you need to catch the opportunity.
Exactly. You never know when the next one is coming.
If it was standing still, then that would not be an opportunity, right?
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's kind of how me and my brother got started with the company. I knew that I could probably do it on my own, but two minds is way better than one. Plus, he's my brother. I can trust him with anything.
Two minds and two hearts.
Two minds and two hearts.
I think the day that he told me about it, it was initially my mom and my dad, because my parents told him to bring me along.
Yes.
And my brother comes over to me and he says, "Okay, this is what I'm thinking. I'm gonna get this franchise from Let's Get Moving. We're gonna be doing it in Surrey, British Columbia. You and I can go do this." And we're both kind of the same way, where we're like, we take a moment, we think about it, but we're very quick with it.
Good.
He asked me. I think I took like an hour, and I was like, "Okay, let's do it."
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people make a mistake on. They take too long to think about it, and then it gets snatched up from someone else.
Yes.
Right. So we did not have the funds to start the company, but we pitched it to every single person we knew, and we found enough people to believe in our idea and that we can do this successfully.
Yes.
That we got the funds together.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy that you were able to explain a concept that, there weren't many locations out there, right? We were like kind of starting up. I think you were the first agent that kind of started with us. And it's hard to sell something, convince people of something that there's not really a concept out there already, right? We opened like 6 or 7 locations or so, and then we started franchising. So it's a big deal that you were able to convince people of that. Clearly, you're great at sales. You're great at making it happen. So tell me a little bit about you guys moving, because you guys live in Ontario, GTA, right? Where we are now in Toronto area, and it's been a year now. You guys went out there. You guys did that stuff for a year. You set up the business. You hired an operations manager. Listen, the things you guys do is phenomenal. It's very inspirational, because if I could write a book about how it should be done, I would write a book about how you guys did it. Seriously. And in the beginning, everything was so beautiful. You guys were like sending pictures of how you set up the office, how it was identical to how we do things. I loved that. It was very magical to see that you guys are absolutely copy and pasting the system and the processes and the concept, right? And you guys made it work better than, I think, 99% of the franchisees out there, right? You guys really put your mind to it. You guys put your heart to it. And the most important thing, the ownership was there. I work with a lot of partners, and a lot of times it's hard to find that ownership, because they point fingers at each other, or they point fingers at the operations manager, or this or that. They don't take the ownership, right? What's important is going out there and spending your time, putting blood and sweat with maybe an operations manager who you're trying to put in their place, right? So that they feel the care, the love that you guys have for that location, right? And they will continue that on while you guys are not there. But you need to kind of build that foundation with them and build that ownership with the operations manager, right? So that they know how you operate, how much you care, so that they can continue to do that for you guys, right? And that ownership is so important. When you go out there and do that and spend your time and put yourself out there, leave your life and kind of like go get a new place and do this and do that, it's not easy, right?
Yeah, no, we've lived in Ontario for pretty much our whole life.
There you go.
Ever since 2003. So
and then you move all the other side of the country.
On the other side of the country, we didn't want to spend too much because we didn't want to risk anything. So we drove all the way out there.
Oh, wow.
And
with your Tesla, right?
With the Tesla.
I had the C43.
Yeah.
Drove all the way out there.
And we could pack whatever we had in our cars. And that's what we took. We didn't want to spend money on U-Hauls. We didn't want to do anything like that.
Of course, yeah.
And it was definitely a fun journey. I think we've hit a few hiccups along the way, and obviously that's normal, right? You make mistakes, and a lot of these mistakes are. It depends on how you really consider it, because a lot of people have the wrong perspective that they overthink about the things that can go wrong, and that's what goes wrong.
Yes.
Because you're constantly thinking that it's going to go wrong.
On that.
So you focus on making sure that everything is going to be proper. You're going to make sure that everything is going to be dealt with, and then everything will go smoothly.
Honestly, it was the best thing that we did it across the country.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because we basically had the ability to cut off our distractions.
Yeah.
We didn't really have any friends out in BC. We didn't really go to clubs or do anything like that. We don't find that fun.
Yeah.
So all we had there was the work.
Yes.
And that gave us basically the mindset that it's only the business that we're doing here. It's the only thing that matters.
Yes.
And it really made us grow as fast as possible.
Man,
Helps
that's
you focus.
crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know where you guys get this focus from. I don't know where you guys get this mindset from. I really don't understand. I meet a lot of people all the time, man. I meet 40-year-old, 50-year-olds that are not as focused as you guys, you know? And I want to know how it's been. Like, I genuinely do not get you guys. Like, you guys have this mindset so young. I want to know how it's been your journey as a young entrepreneur starting this business. And now, obviously, you've got your whole life ahead of you, and you know that you guys are going to be entrepreneurs forever. No matter what, that's never going to change, right?
Absolutely.
So tell me how your experience has been, you know, because as a young entrepreneur, it's hard to go out there and for people to take you seriously and for you to grow a big business and for you to, you know, just be able to grow yourself as an individual, right? Because business and individual, you need to kind of grow side by side, right? One cannot grow without the other. Yeah. Tell me how that's been, because I feel like you guys have matured so much. I genuinely don't even know who I'm talking to. When you left here, you know, we're always joking around, having a good time. Now I see you so serious all the time.
Yeah,
You're a businessman now.
Yeah, no, the last year, so 5 years prior to starting the franchise,
Yes.
that was the entire time of me focusing on what am I going to do with my life, because I was trying to, like, my parents, it's a European family.
Yes.
And I feel like the ideals and the way that people think and the way that people react is extremely different to how it is in Canada and how it is in the US. A lot of people are very influenced by the wrong things. A lot of people are constantly looking at the right things, but they're not taking the right steps. So a lot of it is going to be self-development. A lot of people need to, in my opinion, take a step back and get away from social media and all of these different things to really focus on themselves.
Clear your mind, absolutely.
Just like
Clear your
getting away
mind,
from the
exactly.
distractions.
That's
Yeah,
right.
my parents had kids when they were in their like early 20s.
Yes.
A lot of people right now can't even move out of their house when they're 30. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I knew that I had to start developing myself extremely early to make sure that we get on the right track as fast as possible. I want to that's the one misconception that a lot of people have. Enjoy your 20s, work your 30s.
Oh.
I think that is the stupidest thing in the world.
I agree.
Because you really have to focus in your 20s, and then you can really relax in your 30s and start thinking the bigger picture.
Yeah. You need some imbalances initially. You know, you need to focus on work. You need to focus on growth. And then you get to enjoy.
Like, I already explained to all my friends, when I was out in BC, it was like my work-life balance was like 90% work, 10% personal.
Yeah.
And I think because the way our family is structured, that just seems right. That's what's correct. That's what we need to be doing at this age. Because if we don't do that, our goals are, we're trying to become millionaires by the time we're 30,
There you go.
billionaires by the time we're 40.
I think we're going to hit that before 30.
Yeah, absolutely. You're 25, you're 22, right?
Yeah.
You guys are so young, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, I mean, that's the one thing that a lot of people make a mistake on, right? They don't take their time seriously.
Yes, I agree with that.
So a lot of people waste a lot of their time, and I think it's fine to do later once you're set up.
Yes.
So that's the important thing that I think a lot of people need to understand.
Let's talk about your location, right? You got the Surrey location. When did you start? How many trucks are you running? How is it going with your movers, your operations manager? How was it to set up? How is the kind of relationship with sales and how it's been? Kind of tell me a little bit about your business experience and where you guys are at right now with your business, what you guys have and so on. I think you guys been operating how long now? Maybe 12?
About a year and 2 months.
Yeah, July of last year is when we started.
All right.
We've
you got
hit
about
our
13 months? 14
Yeah.
months, yeah?
Yeah, I think our 11th month in, we hit 155K in
Yeah.
month
And on your 11th month.
on our
Yeah.
11th month.
155K in 1 month. That's amazing.
I think
Yeah.
after, was it 13 or 14 months that we hit the 1 million gross?
I think it was on our 13th month, 1 million in gross, and that's where we thought that we're really getting somewhere here.
Yeah.
Not too bad, eh? 13th month. Not too bad.
Yeah.
How many trucks you guys got?
We're currently at 3 trucks.
Nice.
We were renting a few trucks at the end of the month, and now we're a little bit stepping back because we know that winter months are coming. It
Yes.
slows down a little bit.
Yes.
I don't want to get too many trucks
Of
where it's going
course,
to be
of
sitting
course.
around, right?
Yeah.
These are the little things that you got to take in consideration.
Exactly. I don't even know how you know these things because it's only been a year, so I don't know exactly how you know all these things, but it is important, absolutely, to make the right decisions to grow at the right time. You know, I think
Yeah.
like April, May, that's the right time to get additional trucks or get a warehouse and things like that, right? Like yearly around that time is a good time to kind of grow and expand and invest into the business, right?
Yeah.
And in the winter, we kind of like roll with what we've got, and we do the best we can with the trucks we got, the jobs we get, and so on.
Exactly.
Like
And then every year we just grow.
we were even talking like timing, like you said, it's everything.
Yes.
Like we already were talking about we're trying to get another 3 more trucks next year.
Nice.
But we're thinking in more towards February,
Mm-hmm,
March, when that season is still dead and like
Yes.
all the trucks are a lot cheaper.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's when
Yeah.
we're gonna be buying.
Yeah,
It's all
February is a
timing.
good time. So, tell me about your trucks. How many trucks you got? What's going on with the operations? I know you hired an operations manager. Look, the things you've done is, again, outstanding, very ideal. The reason being is this business is supposed to be copy pasted, right? And what I mean by that is that, you know, within a couple of months or a year, you can really put that ownership and grow the business to where it can afford an operations manager and you can just step back and copy other ones and open other ones. We have a bunch of franchises who open locations in Canada and US, multiple locations, because they get the concept. But you guys really did it really properly. Within 13 to 14 months, you left an operations manager there. So tell me a little bit about your operation. How many trucks you got there? How is it going with your operation manager? How was it that you were able to leave somebody there and you trust to kind of take care of your baby, your business there?
Yeah, no, like we said, we have 3 trucks currently.
Yeah.
It was honestly kind of weird, like, how to explain this. When me and my brother started, we were basically listening to everything that Daniel said. Daniel was already in the sales. He was
Yes.
already working with you, and he saw a lot of what was happening over at the Toronto office.
Yes.
And with him seeing how that Toronto office was set up, he basically thought, okay, let's copy and paste, like you said, Toronto office.
Love that.
And that's going to be what our success is. I feel like Daniel could probably explain a little bit better.
Yeah, no, so a lot of the inspiration came from seeing your office and seeing how the operation goes and being part of that development as it went to that next step. So hats off to you for making
you.
such an incredible company, and
appreciate
it's so widely known of what kind of customer support we have
Thank you.
and how we can really help the customer.
Yes.
So that's what I really truly believed in when we got started.
Yes.
We got the manager in, which was one of our first drivers.
Oh yeah. I love that when people grow in the company. It's so nice.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's what really helped them with progressing in their own lives, right? Because they
Absolutely.
understand that we don't want to find someone from the outside that doesn't know the company, explain everything to them from scratch,
Yes.
and that's where there's a lot of confusion or misunderstandings in a way. So that's what we did. We got the driver that was doing extremely well with us, and we put him as a manager. He started off with a lot of questions because there's things that he obviously doesn't know from the office standpoint.
Exactly.
But he's a very quick learner, and we're really lucky to have such a great guy. He literally, we would have him on 2 or 3 jobs in a day,
Oh, wow.
He loved what he was doing, and he loved the brand. And that's where he really excelled. So he got 3-4 reviews on a daily basis. We saw him doing extremely well, and that he really took it seriously.
Yes.
And that's why we believed that he would be the right fit for us.
I love that. See, when you're out there, you're spending your time, you're growing the team. This is the best way when you're there and organically growing the team, right? When you're spending time with people, when you're putting your heart out there, when you're, breaking sweat with those guys, when you're, fixing the office together, and these things just build that bond so that when you guys are not there, they do a great job while you're not there,
Yeah.
So I love what you guys did. I think that the operations position can definitely be filled with a mover who's passionate to grow.
Yeah.
We don't need to hire some random guy from outside because just it's for the office. We're going to get an operations person with experience from somewhere. This is a fairly simple concept, especially because we do all the back end work, like the website, the marketing, the sales, all these things are done, right? So the operations manager is kind of making sure the jobs are taken care of and deals with the day-to-day stuff. I like how you guys brought in a mover. That's how I've done all my locations. And you guys kind of followed that same path. And that's why I love how you guys did things. You guys really followed the path and you got to success so much quicker than everybody else. I really love everything you guys have done. Seriously. So what's next for you guys? I know you guys are back in Ontario now. You guys are back at the parents. You guys are growing in different ways individually, right? As I mentioned, your business is growing, so you guys need to grow as well, right? So that you can kind of take the business to the next level after that. So tell me a little bit about your personal lives.
Yeah. Right now we're kind of taking a little bit of a step back.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of phases.
1 year of business and taking a step back. I love it.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? Yeah, no, for sure.
Honestly, the problem is, and I was going to relate this back to the beginning when we were talking about it, is the whole thing of like once you actually get into a business and you start doing something, you stop worrying about everything.
Yes.
After you get into that, you do it for a year like we did.
Yes.
We're back and we're so bored.
It is unbelievely boring.
We got to a point where like it feels like you need to be doing some sort of work.
You need stress, man.
You need stress in your life.
Exactly. Like, and that work, it just makes you feel like it's the self-accomplishment.
Yes, absolutely.
And
makes you really feel alive when you're actually doing these things.
And you just keep getting to the next level.
Yeah.
As a person, you keep growing. You realize you can handle bigger problems, bigger things.
Yeah. Like,
Right?
I think right now, like Dan said, we're taking kind of a step back.
Yes.
Where we've been relaxing for like the last 2 weeks, and for him and I, we both already said we're very bored.
Yes.
I think we're continuing with Surrey.
Yes.
There because it's the winter.
Yes.
We're doing a lot of quality control.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's what I was talking about with there's different phases. Like, obviously, when you're going into the more busy season, you want to grow as much as you can. But then once it slows down, you want to have that quality control.
Right.
You want to make sure that as you're growing, that you're properly taking care of your baby, essentially.
Absolutely. During the busy times, you just got to go, right? And these little bit of, when it slows down, it's a good time to fix every little detail. So when you're going into your next year busy time, you're not going in with issues and, processes that are incomplete or not being done properly, right?
Yeah.
You guys inspire the hell out of me. Seriously. I think you guys are going to be millionaires a lot sooner than 30 years old. I know that for sure.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Tell me a little bit about what advice you guys can give for younger guys, younger individuals who are having a tough time knowing what they want to do with their lives, who are having a tough time making decisions in a business or a career or, any path that they want to go to. What kind of advice do you have for young people to commit themselves and make a choice and want to move forward? How did you beat those fears? And what kind of advice do you have for young people?
Don't think. Just go.
I freaking
Just
love
go.
that. That's literally on the top of my head. Don't think, just go.
Exactly. And that's like a lot of younger guys are very impressionable, and a lot of them are listening to guys like Andrew Tate,
Yes.
right? And they're thinking like That's one of the things that you would hear him say. He explains like, I don't give a shit if you're giving me $1 million, $2 million to dig a hole. I'm going to be passionate about that hole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what industry you're going to fall into. I never expected to be in the moving industry.
Yes.
And I don't think a lot of people who are doing their businesses are thinking that I'm going to be in that industry when they were young.
Exactly.
So you just have to jump at the opportunity and you have to take that chance, and that's where things will change.
Make the best of it, right?
Exactly.
Honestly, I think the most important thing will always be adaptability.
Yes.
Exactly.
Like it's like you gotta get in there and just figure it out.
Yes.
You're never gonna have all the answers. You're never
Absolutely.
gonna really know what you're doing.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Figure it out.
Yes.
Yeah. You'll make a lot of mistakes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everyone makes mistakes.
But those are the best lessons, right?
Those are the best
Exactly.
lessons.
I tell everybody in my company, I'm like, look, when we face a problem, we have to make sure that we create a process that problem never happens again, right?
Exactly.
We have to learn from every mistake. If we do not learn from that mistake, then it's a real mistake,
Yeah.
right? Because it will continue to happen.
Yeah.
But if we fix it, then it's just a lesson,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
All right. So you guys are back in Ontario. We had some conversations about opening U.S. locations. You guys know I'm Canadian. I opened a location in U.S. that helped me get my E2 visa. That is helping me with my green card in the future.
Yeah.
I love being able to have this freedom and dual citizenship. I love the States, right? So I kind of want to be able to go back and forth a lot easier at the border. They give me a lot of trouble sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm always going back and forth. So it's a lot easier now, and I was able to do that. I know you guys were thinking about opening a location in Dan Antonio, right?
Dan Antonio, that's right. Yeah.
San Antonio. So you guys are Canadians, obviously. We've got some plans in the future to do something in U.S. together, right? And that's going to help open a lot more doors, having dual citizenship and being able to do that, right? Like our company helps with these citizenships. I've actually converted a couple of franchisees in Canada who were looking to open in Canada, but we had no locations available. So now they've bought locations in U.S. They've been in contact with our immigration lawyers, and they're just kind of taking care of all these things and getting the E2 visa, being able to have that freedom, right?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the future. What's that's looking like with Let's Get Moving?
Yeah, no, we're definitely considering more locations. That's the thing that we really had to consider on our own.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed that a lot of people are going into the wrong industries.
Mm-hmm.
So in my opinion, obviously this could be different for a lot of people and what kind of knowledge they know.
Yes.
But retail and these sort of things like food industries.
Restaurants. Oh my God! Don't even
There,
get me
it is
started.
so unbelievably
Jesus.
hard to have a profitable location, and people just want to jump on the idea that they want a business.
Yes.
So if they do the proper research, they'll know that there are different industries out there that are available that with the same amount of capital, you can get started, but you'll be making far more. So in the moving industry, there's a lot of growth because there's you can get more trucks.
Mm-hmm.
This is how you would be able to really expand on your business.
Yes.
But things like retail, you're really focusing on foot traffic.
Yes.
So a lot of people overspend on advertising, these
Yes.
sort of things, trying to get more people in.
Yes.
But it doesn't get you as far as you could when you're in something like a service industry.
Mm-hmm.
So service industries are literally the absolute best in my opinion. And it's somewhere that I think that people should start is in a franchise. Because a lot of people don't know how to properly set things up on their own. And by having a franchise, you get that support that you really need to get growing.
Yes.
So that's where I would probably recommend for a lot of these younger guys that are taking that next step in their life, that they really need to save their money, focus on themselves, and then go somewhere in the service industry. If you are listening, I would recommend Let's Get Moving. 100%. You got to go with Let's Get Moving.
That sounds lovely. Thank you. You know, I think these young entrepreneurs, it would be great for them to start with any franchise, actually a reputable franchise, a
Yeah.
franchise that has good concept and has some sort of proof, right?
Yeah.
Because that will kind of expose them to the business aspect, right?
Yeah.
Other
Yeah.
than trying to come in here, find their CRM, find their online website, do this, do that. These things are really hard to kind of figure out here, because I went through it. I had to take me 10 years of mistakes and bullshit to get to here. So I know that when you're kind of exposed to these things and you see a full system, you grab that, you kind of grasp that understanding of, you know, how to run a business, what's step one, what's step two, right? And then this allows them to do whatever they want in the future and become an entrepreneur a lot faster,
Yeah.
right? I really like the franchising concept because you get to financial freedom a lot faster. I think a lot of people would love to start their own brand, would like to have their own name, right? And hats off to them. They got to go through the hardship and they got to get there, right?
Yeah.
But if you're looking to make money in a business, get a reputable franchise and
Yeah.
learn how business is done. And then
Yeah.
do whatever you want. Either get more of that franchise or get a different franchise.
Exactly.
But you get to know what's going on in the business world. You get to understand how I need to set up the back end, how everything works, right? You get to kind of get a accelerated growth in like somebody that took 10 years, you can have it in maybe a year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like you guys did, right?
Yeah, and you can definitely like experiment with different franchises and different industries.
Yes.
So you don't have to be absolutely tied to one.
Yes.
Obviously, if you have one, you know what you're doing, and it's much easier to get to that next level and open this location, know that it's running properly.
Yes.
But I think it's also important for a lot of people to diversify themselves and have, let's say, for the moving industry, the summertime is like the peak season.
Yes.
For the winter time, you're a little bit more tied up and trying to figure stuff out.
Yes.
That's why I think it would be important to, as a next step, to have a different industry that's really peaking during
In the winter,
In
yeah.
the winter. So
Absolutely.
you're set throughout the year.
Absolutely.
Now you can really try to expand on that, maybe get to 5 different franchises so you can like really focus on something for the next 5 years or whatever, however long it takes you. A lot of people could take 10 years, or some people can do it all in 2 years.
Yes.
So it doesn't really matter on the pace that you're going at, as long as you're making that next proper step and you're not getting out of your focus. So focus is extremely important. Perspective is extremely important, because if you're thinking about the wrong things, you're going
Yes.
to do the wrong things.
You're going to be focused on the wrong things. Those are going to be the things that grow, right?
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
focus on the right things.
Yeah.
How's it been, you two brothers? How's been the experience being together for a year, living out of your normal place, normal house, normal lives?
Honestly, I was gonna say this before when you're talking about advice for young
Please,
entrepreneurs.
go ahead.
If you are ever going to be doing a business with a friend, a brother, a
Yes.
sister, anybody that you're close with,
Yes.
one thing that we've realized, if we fight, we bicker, then that's a side thing. Our business is more important than we are as people. And Daniel and I can say this a lot because we fight pretty often.
That's what makes you guys brothers, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I feel like over that year that we were in BC,
Yes.
even while fighting, even while bickering, the business made us closer.
Good.
Yeah.
Because now we understand that we both can do this. We're both individuals that can think like, oh, he's gonna get his stuff done. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And it's basically made us respect each other a lot more.
Love that. You
And
guys
it's-
grow together.
Yeah.
This is really cool. It's nice seeing this, man. Seriously, because sometimes people don't think about like doing business in internal in the family, right? Sometimes it's tough,
Yeah.
but you guys made it work.
I mean,
Yeah,
like,
no, it was definitely tough in the beginning, because we definitely did not have an amazing relationship in the beginning. Over time, we've developed it into understanding that business comes first, and we know that we can count on each other
Good
to
for
make
you
sure
guys.
that what needs to be done is done. So
Good
I
for
don't
you
have to
guys.
worry about too many different tasks at once, and that's
Nice.
why I think a partnership is really important.
Nice.
Because then I can focus on one set of things and he can focus on another. So we always have differing opinions on things, and I think that's extremely important because then
Yes.
we can discuss these
See
things
different
and
sides, right?
see different sides.
Yeah.
So there are times that I think that what I want to do is the right thing, but he opens my eyes to a different way of thinking that I wasn't even thinking about at all. So I think it's super important to have more than one person, but I think 3 people or more is far too many.
Yeah.
You're spreading yourself out
Yeah,
too
two
thin.
is good. Two is good.
Yeah, yeah.
2 is more than enough. All right, guys, tell me a little bit about what you can say to anyone who's thinking about potentially maybe getting a Let's Get Moving franchise in U.S. because we have nothing in Canada. What would you have to say to them?
Do it. Do it now, okay? There is no time to think. You just have to do it, trust the process, and it will work. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that whatever you put your mind to, you will get done properly, and that you will put the right time and effort that it takes to make sure that it goes right. There's such a great support system here.
Thank you.
That whenever I had any questions in the beginning, and in the beginning there's a lot of questions.
Yes.
So the support system was definitely there, and they were always helping us. Now we're trying to help the new franchisees and making sure that they
You guys are rock stars.
are there and they have the support that they need. Right? So sometimes there's going to be situations that someone needs help right away.
Yes.
And that's kind of what I think what you've built is a great community of people that want to help each other.
Yes.
So as a team, everyone helps each other. Everyone is always there for each other, and that's not common in franchising. A lot of people have a lot of trouble. A lot of people don't know what to do, and a lot of people don't know how to ask for help.
Yes, I agree.
And you just need to really step out of your comfort zone and just put yourself out there to really grow. Right.
I was gonna honestly say about having Let's Get Moving in the U.S. Like, we were already discussing this, and one thing that we keep going back to is PPP, purchasing power parity.
Yes.
In Canada, our minimum in the winter would be 119 per hour.
Yes.
And we can realistically see that being the exact same in a U.S. market, which is really beneficial for us. For the quick fact that labor is going to be cheaper.
That's right.
Materials are going to be cheaper.
Exactly.
Trucks are going to be better and cheaper, and the
exactly.
APR is going to be way less than out here.
It is.
It's having what is already built here in the U.S. market. I think we already discussed this, was a very smart idea. It's just something that, for us at least, the way that we would build it, guarantees success.
You guys are a guaranteed success, whatever you do. I feel like whatever you guys touch will be a success. I heard you guys are going to be coming up with your own podcast channel soon, right?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
We were thinking about it a while ago. We definitely want to do a lot of big things in our life.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people are not getting the proper advice because they're listening to people who are older than them, who are maybe experienced in a certain industry, but they don't know how to reach the younger market. So because we're young, we have that benefit of knowing kind of what younger people want to hear. But at the same time, I think it's extremely important that people know that it's possible to become wealthy at a young age.
I love that. That's really beautifully said. Seriously. I can't wait for the future of ours. I can't wait to be part of your journey. You guys are going to do great things. I hope to be a part of it. I hope Let's Get Moving is a part of it. And you guys have really built an amazing community within this place. You know, every time I bring in a new franchise, you guys are the first ones to welcome them. You guys are always the first ones to help people. I love that, and that means a lot to me, seriously. So I hope I can give that kindness back to you guys in some way or form.
Thank you.
But I do want to say that I genuinely love having you guys here. I love having you guys in the team, and you guys bring the value of Let's Get Moving higher. You guys, in every way, make me and Let's Get Moving look better. So I really appreciate you guys, and I can't wait for our future.
I think it looks good on its own. You've really built such an absolute beautiful company.
Thank you.
It's so hard for so many people, but you've spent the time, the energy, and everything you put into it. It's insane.
I appreciate
No
that.
one that I know online or anywhere has built it as much as you have.
Thanks.
So,
You know,
yeah,
I'm very
you're-
lucky to have good people. You know, the amazing people that are here, that are helping me daily, that are helping Let's Get Moving daily. I'm
Yeah.
very grateful for the people that are in it. I'm very grateful for the people that are in the community of franchising. And I'm so excited for the future. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for all the kind words you said about Let's Get Moving. Thank you for all the kind words you said about me. And honestly, you guys are two brothers that I absolutely love, because I can't believe the dynamic is so good between you guys. Seriously. And you guys have done a great job growing individually, growing the business. And that just happened in 13, 14 months.
it was
It's going to be
quick.
crazy.
It flew by. It really
Yeah.
flew by. It was amazing. That's the thing. Like he mentioned, we're bored. We need to do
Yeah.
something. Like
That's why like we're thinking, okay, wintertime, we're gonna do quality control.
Yeah.
Let's do something at least proactive. That's why we're like, okay, let's get the podcast.
Yes,
Let's get all
there
the
you go.
equipment. Let's see how ad space works like there, how we can get on to other platforms.
Yes.
It's just something that's new that we need to learn something.
Yes.
We can't be sitting there doing nothing.
Of course.
I also think we're very controversial people. I'm worried about the things that we're going to be talking about on our podcast because we're
It's
just
good.
going to
It's
be
just gonna
talking
go
about all the
viral.
craziness that's going on in the world, and there is a lot of it.
Oh, yeah. Give me some
Yeah.
examples of some of your guests you're going to bring in.
I mean, guest-wise, I don't have anything in mind, but I want to be open to any conversation.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter the woke side, political side, whatever it may be, I'll talk about it because I think that's what people want to hear.
Yeah.
And I think that's what is super. I think whatever is controversial, that is what really blows up.
Yes.
So that's what I want to talk about, and I think that
like the Joe
I have a
Rogan
lot.
experience.
Exactly, I have a lot of things that I want to talk about, and I feel like I can't stop talking a lot of the time. So I think that it would be a fun little experience that we would try, and that's what I think that a lot of people should do. They should try.
Yes. They
No
should fucking
one
try.
tries. They always think that they want to do
Yes.
something. They think that it has to be perfect, and it really doesn't.
And they talk themselves out of it.
And they
People
talk
are so
themselves out.
good at talking themselves out of doing shit, doing real shit. They'll just stay with the safe decision, you know,
I
the
see.
safe option.
I see a lot of the times people just talking about it. That's it.
Yeah.
Like one of my buddies right now, he wants to get into his own business, and I keep telling him the same thing. Talking about it is not doing it. Just at least get a clientele. At least try seeing the market, seeing something.
Take the risk.
Yeah, take the risk.
You guys see that so clearly now. You guys see through people so fucking clearly now because you're like, just take the fucking step,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
A lot of people talk.
Yeah,
That's all they do.
You guys see through that shit so easily now.
Yeah. No, this, like I was telling you earlier, and I think that people should hear it. I've spent years and years just trying to figure out what am I going to do in my life.
Yeah, that's right.
And
a lot
I've
of
done
people go through that, man.
Yeah, and like you can take the right steps, but there's nothing that's really going to really help you develop unless you take that big risk. And that big risk is going to be on your mind the entire time where you think that I have to make this work.
Yes.
So that's the only thing that's on your mind. You're not going to be distracted about other things. And if you don't have that risk, and if someone has that thing that they can fall back on, that's where they
That's
always
the fucking
fall
problem, man. You need to have a plan A, and that needs to be your only fucking plan.
back. Yeah.
You know, when I was starting this business and I was in the beginning stages where it was hard to pay for trucks, where it was hard to pay for advertising, it was hard to pay for office, it was hard to just keep the business, you know?
Yeah.
And I was under a lot of pressure, but I was for sure not going to fucking lose.
Yeah.
That was never going to be one of the options.
Yeah.
I was going to knock on every fucking door in the world. until I found the right door.
Yeah.
So it's good to try. It's good to put yourself in that position because you will figure it out. There will be no other option. Failure won't be the option when you start your business, right? Bankruptcy will never be an option, right?
Yeah.
So you got to just put your mind to it, put your heart into it, and believe in yourself.
Yeah.
And it will always fucking work.
Yeah.
There's
Like,
not a single person out there that says, I put my fucking heart, I put my entire life, and it didn't fucking work.
Yeah.
yeah, like that's the thing. We had that period at like first winter. Because we went a little bit hard on trucks and
Yes.
some other stuff, and we were like sitting there looking at the numbers, and we're basically eating like one meal a day, if that. We're not going out. We're not spending any money. We're making sure that all the money goes straight back into the business.
That's right, man.
And our thought process going through that was, we can't lose.
There you go.
It has to work. It
There you
has to
go.
work.
There's a
You
lot of
gotta-
sacrifices that take.
Exactly. You got to take some sacrifices, man. There's got to be imbalances in some
Yeah.
stages of your life, right?
Yeah.
So you guys went through the hardship.
Yeah, no, that's the one thing that I wasn't taking as seriously during those years of development is I did not take care of my health, which I think that everyone should, because you can have
Absolutely.
99 problems in your life, but if you have one health problem, that's your one
Those
problem.
99 problems don't matter at
They
all.
don't matter
Yeah.
at all. Yeah, so you
That's
really
a good-
got to
that's a
take
really
care of
good
yourself.
point, man. I really like that. You guys started working out. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, no, I was sick for the past 2 weeks, and now we're finally kind of going back to the gym. And since we have a lot of free time, we have to take advantage of it.
Gotta
So
hit up
get-
the gym.
get-
we
get
should go
ourselves-
together one day when I come back.
We should, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I'm down.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah, no,
That'll
we
be fun.
took way too long of a pause. I feel like it's something we need to get back into
Yeah,
right
And,
now.
and those
into
are
it.
the sacrifices that I think that some people should take, right? If you put in too much time at the gym, sometimes you got to take more time and put it into the business,
That's right.
You can set it up, make sure you're set for your kind of living, and really start taking care of yourself. Once you start taking care of yourself, you're just maintaining from there,
That's right.
and then you just move on to the other things you want to improve on.
Absolutely. You know, when I started going out to seminars initially, I met Louis Massaro. I think you guys know about him. That's my
Yeah.
mentor that I initially started working with. When I went out there, when I saw him initially, I realized there was a better way.
Yeah.
There is a better way of being a human being. You know, I seen him, good health, good mindset, good business, good growth, awesome personality. I saw this guy, I was like, man, I am your biggest fan. And that's when I realized there is a better way out there, you know? So you got to take care of yourself, because there was a stage where I think I was like 3 or 4 years in the business. The business started doing really good, and I felt like I wasn't individually at the same level as my business, you know? And I needed to grow. And I worked with Louis Massaro privately for a couple of years, and he really helped me kind of become a better version of myself. And I think the business cannot grow without you being a better version of yourself, right? So you got to grow together with the business. And I think that's really beautiful, because you watch something grow, you watch yourself grow, and you're able to kind of take it to the next level.
Yeah, the way that you see...
guys did that.
Thank you. And the way that you see Louis Massaro, how he was like that superstar that you want to be like, right? I hope that you understand that a lot of people see you that same way.
Really?
Definitely.
Because I think that I would see you that same way, because
very kind of
no
you.
one can just have everything at once. Everyone wants everything, but they can't do it all at once. You can't just work out and start a business and do this. You're just spreading yourself too thin. You
Yes.
can't really focus on one thing at a time.
Yes.
And I think that's what really a lot of people should do. They need to focus on what they need in that moment. So first, you need to get your financial stuff straight, right? You got to make sure you have some money in the bank, and then you got to take care of yourself physically, mentally, and
Love
then
it.
you can actually grow step by step,
Love
right?
it.
So I want you to know that a lot of people look up to you, and
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
and it's really important what you're doing for people.
Thank you, man. That means a lot. The way you explained it really, really makes sense. I couldn't have said it better, really. You need to go side by side.
Yeah.
I love it. You guys got a great mindset for your age. I don't know where you guys are going to be when you're 30 years old, but I'm excited to find out because I'm hoping we can do another podcast together. I'm hoping we can give the viewers another update in maybe a year or so.
Definitely.
Where you guys are at, how everything has been.
Yeah.
Right?
Hopefully I'll be in the next step in a year from now, right?
That's right.
That's the goal. You want to keep moving forward, and you don't want to stay behind, because if you stop, you're going to fall behind.
That's right. Growth mindset all the time, individually and business-wise, in every way possible.
Yeah.
But you guys really grew internally, and your relationship grew, which is so beautiful to see. I love it. Could not have been a more successful story than this.
Yeah.
Seriously.
No, I definitely don't think I could have done as good of a job if I didn't have my brother there.
That's awesome to hear.
And,
I love that.
yeah.
How does that feel to hear?
I've been hearing it this whole time. Sorry.
I tell him all the time,
Yeah,
because like you have to make sure that the people around you know that
They're
you care about
appreciated.
them and that they're
I love that.
appreciated.
I love
Yeah,
that.
like we that's the thing. We always know that we're here for each other, especially like
no matter little fights, right?
Yeah.
That's the
Oh, and we
perfect
fight
thing.
a lot.
It happens, but you guys got to stay on the path of logicalness and make
Yes.
sure that the
Exactly.
shit that needs to be taken care of never
Yeah.
comes above a stupid fight or
Yeah.
Exactly. You can't let that
Like
through.
that's the thing. Even now, like we're not done with the business,
Yes.
but we've taken a step back.
Yes.
But we're still
And
looking.
who can say that after 13 months of doing a business, we're taking a step back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but right now we're still looking at new business ideas.
Yes.
And we're still planning on doing everything together.
Good.
Yeah. Everything we do together, because we know that if we put our minds together, we will make sure that everything goes well.
Yeah.
I love
There are things that I know that I wouldn't have the right judgment on, and that's something that I had to understand myself, because I thought I can do everything on my own, and you can't do everything by yourself. You need people around you. You need the support.
Care,
You need
yeah.
to have like, for example, for you with Lewis, right? You
Yes.
needed to have that extra person from the third point
Absolutely,
of view
exactly.
that can tell you that you're doing something wrong,
Yes.
and that you can properly move forward from there.
Yes.
There's no way of knowing that you're doing anything right unless you just either give it time,
Yes.
or you have someone who knows what they're doing tell you that you're on the right track.
Yeah. Mentorship is important. I agree with that. I think you can really, if you're not buying a franchise, then you need mentorship
Yeah.
to kind of push you ahead, right? You need to learn always from the person in the next level. You need to be humble enough and open enough to learn from the next person, and always know that there is a next level,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you guys are going to get to that next level all the time together. It's beautiful
Yeah.
to see the relationship you guys grew together. Seriously. And I'm so happy and proud to have you guys in Let's Get Moving. It means the world to me. And we have to do another podcast in a year or so, right? To give the viewers an update.
Yeah. No, we're so happy to be with Let's Get Moving.
Thank
That
you.
was, I think, like, when we're gonna be older, in our 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever old we are, we're
Yeah.
gonna look back that Let's Get Moving was the thing that changed our life.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
You guys definitely changed my life too. And you guys inspire me all the time. And that's why I wanted to do a podcast with you guys. Because a lot of people should see you guys and see how you guys have worked together, what you guys have built together at such a young age. It's beautiful.
And you can do it too.
Thank you guys so much for being on.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate you both. Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you guys.